found that interesting, coming from Oklahoma State, last name Holiday, no relation.
Yes.
Well, you had to look, though, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then we got Pittsburgh last.
I do. I think the dark magic is over. I think it's over. I don't think Mike Tomlin can just continually being that team that wins 9 or 10 games and makes it into the playoffs every year. It's done. It's gone.
He's won 17 years in a row.
Yep, it's not happening. The dark magic's done. This year, though, I got to win 7 games.
Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And
He
lunch.
and
I was really good.
That has stayed true to form, hasn't it?
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
All right, we are live. We are back, and it's time to talk some fantasy football.
Yeah,
Not just
probably our
football.
most popular subject. Let's.
Probably is.
I mean,
If only we were as good at it as we like it. That'd be real handy. We might as well rip the freaking Band-Aid off. We've got a league with the people, the listeners, and we pretty well got our asses kicked.
trust the process.
Process.
I've got the
Well-
process. It's coming.
My process is I fucked up. That's my analysis right now. It's pretty bad. And yeah, here it is.
Get a load of this
All right.
fucking guy.
gotta see
Look
this
at
tool
this
bag.
guy.
Yeah.
I just happened to
smash.
beat both of these guys this week in fantasy.
We made it.
So,
We made it.
I am... Oh, gotta put it the right way.
Oh, there you go.
The
Get it right.
champion.
The people's
The
champion.
Yeah.
people's champ.
We Woody and Rogers show, and we get our ass
Soak
kicked.
it up.
That's that
Soak
guy.
it
I
up.
beat him in the Shiva,
Trust
which
the
is the old
process.
league, and beat
Yeah.
him in the BBB league. So for this week, I get to have the championship belt. I think every time we have a matchup against us, we're going to be playing for this championship belt.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to see it.
So
Right now, I am the champion.
I just want to touch it because that's probably the only time I can touch it.
Shout out to Dateline. Half my team showed up on there because they're fucking lost. Like,
Mine's on the back of the milk cartons out there everywhere. It is.
Yeah.
It's like Garrett Wilson. No.
give me an episode
Olave.
of 48.
There you go. I mean, I had Saquon Barkley go against this asshole first game and put up 30-some points. I'm like, all right.
I had
Oh,
Anthony Richardson
I thought
and
I
a-
was screwed when I
yeah.
seen Saquon go off.
I
Misfit
outscored
rejects.
Hurts and who was the other guy you had? Like I was looking pretty good, and then my team I'm Sunday. I've got my phone and I'm waiting for the notifications. Touchdowns come in. I'm like, oh, it's broken. Like in that refresh, something's here. No.
My whole team scored 1 touchdown that wasn't my quarterback. My whole team.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, we come on here and we talk it in 9th, 10th in points right now. Oh, what'd you say?
I am
Trust the
second in
process?
points.
Trust the process. Ball catchers will have their day in the sun.
Well, QBs have to actually play well for that to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
and that didn't work
obviously
out very
that's
good
going
week
to start
one.
in week 2.
Duh, yeah. Well, see, my draft was centered around a hunch on a bunch of running backs. Like I had Chase Brown, Jalen Wright, these guys. I'm like, hey, I'm smarter than everybody else. These guys can break out. Watch this. Turns out I'm pretty stupid.
I
That's all
saw
I got right
a
now.
list on Facebook earlier today of the top 10 flops of week 1.
Yeah.
I started looking at my BBB league. I had 4 of them. I had 4 of them.
So we're not real surprised. Are we? So, I mean, I hope you guys don't quit listening when you hear how stupid we are from week 1. But that is a rough week. It's week 1.
All right, I'm gonna bring up here the standings after or the matchups here on week 1. You see Puka Punch, that is me. Kicking.
69.
Little Frodo's cooking.
That'd be me. I gotta get a better name.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate your other
rename my
name
team.
didn't stick
I
or
was
couldn't
Can
because
you
that.
smell what Saquon is cooking? Apparently, Yahoo doesn't like comedy or a caps limit. They don't like
You know,
that.
hey, I can relate to that. I've actually been complaining about the Yahoo having short names.
Yeah, I agree with
I've been
that.
complaining about that for the better part of a decade.
I thought that was about the Bad too.
Well, that too.
Well, look,
But there was one year I tried to name my team Gronk Spiked Your Mama, and it was too long.
Gronk would have so appreciated that. And then just 69 at the end.
Yep.
Guys, we're Gronk, just 69.
look at Nixon's name there. I'm just
Yeah,
here
he's
so
here
I
so
won't
I
get
don't get
fined. He can
fined.
barely make it.
Yeah, that's what he won. Oh, he beat Caleb.
He beat Caleb.
Yeah,
So
I mean, come on, let's get some creativity up. Jay Britt and the old guy. That's actually pretty funny. So you know, we'll give him a week or two. At least his team scores points. Mine doesn't do that. But that's our week. Yeah, he gets the
man,
belt.
Rogers, you were so close to scoring the magical number of 69.
I know,
But we rounded up.
dude.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. Make Grunk proud. There you go. So that's where we're at. We're gonna move on past our shitstorm of crap teams and go on to talk. We want waiver wire. No, players that stood out. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Cooper Kupp. All the Puka Nakua
Risen
talk,
from the dead.
everything. He's back. He can still ball too. Against Detroit, that was impressive. Matty Stafford found his boy.
Okay.
That was pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying you can pick him up or anything, but like, probably got him.
No,
in
he's not around. But
Probably got him in what, the 4th round? Well, back in the 3rd.
yeah, I would say so.
If he keeps playing like this, like, yep, that's 1st, 2nd round quality. The only bright side I had on my team was Saquon looked awesome. Barkley looked explosive.
I had Anthony Richardson and an
Yeah.
island of misfit rejects.
But AR looked good.
Well, for about 2 throws and a few runs. But if he...
That's good for 28 fantasy
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, he still
I
scored
started to
28.
say, he is a much better, right now, fantasy quarterback in real life. And that works for you.
I
That's all
don't
you
care
need.
if he's good at football.
I don't care if the team doesn't win a damn game.
You
I
just
drafted
want
Kyler
the
into that same
fantasy
premises,
points.
dude. Kyler can't even score fantasy points. You're freaking worthless.
Well, that's fair.
Oh, it's a good thing I drafted a good backup quarterback in Caleb Williams. Shit.
So
I want to shout out Mr.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon
Joe Mixon
for
good
going
call.
off for my
another
team.
risen from the dead.
He was risen
Beast.
from the dead. I was upset that I drafted him. Honestly,
Yeah, I remember
I had
that.
no. I felt like I had no other choice because I needed a running back, but it worked out
How late did you get him?
pretty late.
I thought so. Like
He
5th
sat
round?
at the top ADP in our league for a while.
A long
Yeah,
time.
he did. He's looked great in that offense. He's going to fit in. He's going to get some tutties too.
I think it's
Good.
just that offense is so good at passing that he's going to be able to run.
But he had
Yeah.
30 touches.
He did.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. I'm going to tell you what. I think week 1 and 2 there was such crappy quarterback play. I think it suppressed fantasy. Like we were looking at those totals, and honestly, yeah, we sucked. But there was a lot of other teams like usually 100
Yeah,
is pretty common. Like about everybody gets in that range, and there was really
there's
bad quarterback.
3
play
teams there, I guess, that kind of. I think 110 is pretty good. So
well, let me I'm going to go through my first 3 picks of the draft.
Okay.
And that was, I went Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oof.
So he got 1.7 points, I think.
If even that.
In the 2nd round, I believe
he got
I
0.4.
believe that. No, I went Amon-Ra in the first.
I'm on round.
Oh, yeah.
Amon-Ra in the first.
Oh, hell,
Who
buddy.
had 1.3. And then 2nd, I went Marvin Harrison Jr., who had 0.4.
Yeah.
In my 3rd round, I went Devontae, who slightly better. He got 5.9. My first 3
Why not?
picks combined for less than
Well,
10 points.
real quick, did Nico Collins outscore your first 3 picks?
Yes.
Okay. I think you'd already looked
Yeah,
at
and
that.
yeah.
So, trust the process. Start slow. You'll be fine.
Ball catchers will get better. I'm gonna name my team Ball Catchers. Actually,
No, you should name your team Throw Me the Damn Ball.
Yeah.
Throw Me the Damn Ball. Randy Moss there. So, okay. Is there anyone that stood out to you other than your crappy players? Like good guys that scored points?
okay, guy on my bench that I did not play, J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, and you probably should have because he's probably the only week he'll be healthy.
Yep. So I missed my chance.
Yeah, you did.
Actually,
that's a good call, though.
two of my bench running backs.
Who's the other one?
Zach Charbonnet.
Charbonnet did look solid. And
And
Kenneth Walker is
and
banged
Kenneth
up.
Walker got hurt.
Yeah. Okay, that's solid.
So
Um,
that being said, I started Zamir White
I don't blame you at the time though.
and Tajay Spears. Blame me a little bit on that.
Okay, maybe a little bit. Yeah, no, okay, maybe a little bit. My question out a little more, but you know what? The only thing I'm thinking of McDobbins, if you're getting anything out of him, it's week 1, and then he might be done. But it's fine. Would it have mattered? Probably not.
It was close until Monday night came around. I think.
Oh, okay. I was like,
That was like
well, hell,
starting those players would have been like a 40-point swing.
I was within like 12 or so points of you. I might be wrong. I had Garrett Wilson going, and you had the San Fran kicker. I lost by like 30 some.
yeah.
Because San Fran
figure.
kicker scored 26 points.
And he's a real dickhead, isn't he? So
He's a dickhead.
I
Jake
don't really
Moody,
have.
wherever you are, you're a dickhead.
Yeah, you are Jake Moody. I don't really have any more players that stood out. unless we go to the waiver wire.
Nope. Let's go to the
Guys,
waiver
want to
wire.
go ahead and what we're gonna do here is our first time doing this, so bear with us. But we're gonna do our crap at the beginning, do waiver wire, and then we will open this up to the chat.
Okay.
Sound good? Hopefully, we give you guys better advice. We're here to show you through our teams how not to play. Yeah, and we'll help your teams get better.
Okay, I'm going to start it off with the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Thursday night.
Isaiah
Likely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was gonna start with quarterbacks, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
I thought we were starting by different
It's all right.
position
We'll give him a
groups.
pass because he's so freaking excited. Because he
I'm
was right.
excited. I said early on, I don't know if you guys watched our mock draft, but I said that I was not going to take tight end, and I broke my phone because I accidentally took Pat Fryermuth.
That auto
But
draft gets you every time.
I said the whole time, I'm like, I'm not drafting a tight end until late, and I'm going to get Isaiah Likely because I
Yeah.
think that he's going to be good on that team. And
you were quite passionate about it. I'll
I
give you
was.
that. And you were quite correct.
Turned it, I was correct.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if you've watched so far. Not happening a lot. It's not happening a lot. So
The blind squirrel was robbed of his chance to get that net.
Even the blind raccoon finds a dumpster once in a while.
Guys, you're not getting this anywhere else. This is gold. It really is. So, yeah, Likely looked amazing. Athletic, he looked way better than Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
You
Andrews
know,
looks slow.
Andrews coming off an injury. I'm not saying he's going to be total bust, but damn, I'd love to roster Likely.
Andrews did get a lot of snaps still.
I was looking at that. What was that the third down that they would have had the first through to him? He catches it, and he was just like, I don't know what happened.
You do realize he just had a car wreck like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
So that's kind of
I mean,
where
he was
I'm at with him.
His play looked like a car wreck.
It really did. Yeah. So
They used him to block.
yeah. Well, that's the thing with Likely. I was impressed. He can freaking block, which why I'm bringing it up for fantasy. Get him on the field more.
Yeah.
You know, he has all around game, guys, and that catch he made to adjust to the ball and then to make people miss after it. Holy crap! There's not many tight ends that can do that.
I was listening to some other podcast earlier today, and they were talking how they're pretty sure this is the first week that a tight end is the #1 waiver wire pickup.
I would say so. He's.
I agree. I think he
I'm
is.
so mad at myself
It's a thin
because I
position.
called this and then I didn't follow through with it.
You know, you got next year. It's okay. It's okay. We're one weekend. Ooh.
I didn't take my own advice.
No, that's upsetting.
Well, while we're at tight ends too, it is. I should listen to you more. Maybe I'll do better in fantasy. But the other tight end I was wanting to mention was Colby Parkinson to the Rams. They lost Nakua. He looked pretty good week 1. There's not a whole lot in my mind of tight end options out there.
Yeah, you
Remember
had
the
two
Dallas
of them
backup?
get hurt with Njoku and Ferguson as well.
Yeah, I would say the Dallas backup for tight end. He was a pretty high draft pick. I can't think of his name.
I
right
don't
now.
know who he is.
No.
Oh,
the one
Dallas,
replacing him.
Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah, Parkinson, though, that's a guy, like, he had, I think, 4 or 5 catches. Like, with Nakua out, might get some, but likely is slam dunk. You got anybody else?
Yeah, I was going to mention that guy over there with his Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
Tucker
Musgrave?
Kraft.
Oh, crap. Oh.
He started and ended up playing a lot more than Luke Musgrave.
That's interesting.
Had a lot more targets than Musgrave, too. For a waiver wire tight
mean,
end
last year.
possibility, that
The
might be
Malik
one you
Willis
look at.
problem is
Or
that-
if you don't want to use the waiver wire priority or whatever the other
Yeah.
one is where you're bidding on players, that might be somebody
Fab.
to take
Yeah.
a
The
stab
thing about
at.
that is I think that Packers team is getting ready to become real run heavy.
I don't disagree.
You have Willis throwing the ball, so I'm going to
But
pass.
Yeah.
those kind of, you always say rookie quarterbacks love tight ends. A crappy quarterback like Malik Willis, who's not
Fair.
played, probably
Yeah.
loves his tight
And he
end as
doesn't want
well.
to throw the ball very far down the field?
Yeah.
It's fair.
Safety blanket.
Thought process, yeah.
That being said, I don't even think you can hit that.
That's just my tight end, my last
Freaking
person
ocean.
I was going to bring up.
Okay. We go quarterbacks now?
Let's go quarterbacks.
Quarterback. I mean, I think there
It's a
is
backup
one obvious
quarterback
one.
anyway, really. But
Maybe anyone that took Caleb Williams.
I will.
Possibility.
One of you guys mentioned this, so TikTok can hear it. We are going to do chat at the end of waiver wire. So
Oh, yeah. We'll shut
yeah,
up
we're
and
gonna
listen
do
to
a
you
Q
guys.
and A.
yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
you guys on TikTok over there, we are going to get to you. I see one question now.
Yeah.
So,
We'll make this brief.
anyways, back to QBs.
I mean, you want this one? I think this might be your guy.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. #1, Baker Mayfield. If you're,
Shake and bake.
he looks like an absolute stud. He's got a great offense, a bunch of weapons that he's throwing to. And
Sorry. Don't mind us over here.
what did you say?
We're just
and
playing
bake.
to the camera. We're doing the shake and bake.
bake. Gotcha.
Shake.
But yeah, I think number one's Baker. Obvious, I think he's probably the number two, maybe pick up on waiver wires. Some other ones depends on how you value quarterbacks. Another person you might want to throw some money at, or a priority if you need one. Maybe Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold's who I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
He looks solid. He's got Jefferson. Like
If
you've got Jetta, you got hope.
The matchup next
At
week
one point in
scares
time,
me.
both those guys
Yeah.
were actually considered the top 2 quarterbacks of the draft class.
I
Believe they're the same
Wow.
draft class.
Did they go? I think they went
I don't
1
think
and
so.
3.
Were they? I think Darnold went before. Baker.
No, Baker was number one pick.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
I think
said the
Darnold
years.
was the same draft class.
That's the same draft class.
Was that the same draft?
Yeah.
Wow, how
Yeah.
they've fallen. That's crazy. Darnold was 3. Is that right? Baker 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Baker, Darnold, which he's not been great, but he was this week. Josh Allen and Lamar,
Darnold's like we said, he's in the
and
best.
the terrible guy that went to Arizona and then Dolphins, Josh Rosen.
Yeah, Josh Rosen.
Oh yeah, he was a UCLA kid. He was a big bust.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. He didn't last very long.
Yeah, Josh Allen is in that one too. Yeah.
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 Because I
Out
remember
of
I saw a
Wyoming?
clip the
Is
other
that
day
right?
where a Bills fan was so mad that they took
Yeah.
Josh Allen instead of Josh Rosen.
Dude, I saw one the other day with Mahomes. There's this Chiefs fan because they still had Smith. He literally just went off, like smashed his
This
TV.
is why
Yeah,
this franchise is never going to win a Super
Never
Bowl.
going to a Super Bowl, and look what happened. That aged well.
You guys got any more quarterbacks?
No, I agree with you. Bake shows who I was going to highlight with the weapons. I love the weapons he's got there.
Yeah.
Evans, Godwin,
He's just
McMillan.
building on what he already
Yeah.
put a pretty good building block on last year.
Yeah,
So like,
he is. I'd feel good starting him. I mean, even this next week he's got Detroit. That game could be a shootout.
He's
We're
got
talking about
weapons.
hitting the over.
He's got
he ain't afraid to
weapons.
sling it.
He does.
and
Yeah.
he's been competent for a long time, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm
He
all
woke
for
up
that.
feeling dangerous.
Dangerous. A lot of shaking, bacon, too. You can go running back.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this is for you. Technically, he does count.
J.K. Dobbins.
There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
while he's healthy.
And now that Kenneth Walker is also hurt, I also like Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So JK's 49% in Yahoo leagues, and Zach Charbonnet's 47% rostered.
Okay, so
that-
they both technically fit under our 50% threshold.
Yeah.
We
on
should
that.
set the rules here. We're
Yeah.
looking at 50% under that threshold in Yahoo, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, if they were
Yeah.
rostered in under half the leagues.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't read the rules when I started
Yeah.
making mine, so threw a few out. But I agree. Charbonnet, if he starts, his receiving skills, I'm intrigued.
Last
I
year he
agree.
looked like the better back anyhow. Part of the
He
time.
Yeah.
part of the time he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of game flow. It was like if they were up, it was Walkers. They were behind.
Yeah.
Charbonnet had it. So I like that. I'm gonna go a little deeper. A couple guys. I'm interested in Bucky Irving in Tampa. I think he looks better
He's got a cool name.
than Rashad White. Yeah, who doesn't want Bucky? Yeah, Buck stops here. Ooh, a lot of stuff.
Ooh.
Don't fuck with Buck.
You don't want him
Yeah.
to stop though. He's running.
If he's in the goal line, it's fine.
That's fine.
So he's in that end
I'll
zone.
give you that.
I think he's the better back, truthfully. Now, that being said, Rashad White is not going to disappear because he's very reliable, good pass catcher.
Yeah, he's a
He's
good
great
pass
receiving. He's
catcher.
dependable.
That's about all he brings, but
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's about 3 yards, and that's about it.
Yeah.
3
Not
yards in
real
a cloud
flashy.
of dust, Frank
That's-
Gore style, baby.
he wishes he could touch Frank
I don't
Gore's
think he can hold
jock
his
strap.
Yeah, I don't think he holds it. So that's
Weird
guy.
you guys are both talking about Frank Gore's jockstrap, but whatever.
I
man.
mean, you've seen Frank Gore, do the math there, dude. So
Remember him knocking out that guy in freaking boxing?
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but
Dude, he still got it.
straight iced him.
I wouldn't mess with him. 2 others I was going to mention, or do you got anybody over there?
yeah. So I was gonna mention Alexander Madison, especially
Yeah.
if you got Zamir White and you
I'd
don't.
say.
That's
You don't have
That's
that.
you.
Who's backing up Zamir White? Is what
Yeah,
I'm ready to
yeah.
say.
If you don't have that handcuff, you ought to get that handcuff.
I think he's talking to you.
White didn't look good. Madison has proven as a 50-50 share or a little
Yeah.
less or as a backup. He's been capable.
Yeah.
Didn't work out as the main
Minnesota?
starter in
This guy's,
Minnesota.
Been as far back as being. Was he Adrian Peterson's backup at one point in time, or just Dalvin Cook?
He was just
I think
Dalvin
it's
Cook.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite that
Oh,
old. Close.
I don't
It-
even think they had a backup for AP.
No, I don't think they did.
Why would you
it was
need-
Why would
almost,
you?
almost as good as a backup quarterback. It's like, I'm not even touching the ball here. It's like,
Only person stopping AP is his parole officer.
I had to go there.
But
That's good.
another
It's like Tyreek
person.
and the police, man. That's what
his
chance they
baby
got to
mamas.
detain his ass. They can't even do it. There's a 10 of them have tried. Sorry, guys. We'll rein it back in here. What do you guys think of Tank Bigsby?
Yep, Tank Bigsby was the next person I was going to mention.
Another great name.
I'm all for these names. These
Yeah.
backup running backs with kick-ass names. Can't go wrong.
Tank Bigsby. That
As
sounds
long
like
as they
a
get the ball.
video game character.
Well, a running back named Tank. That's awesome.
and
I mean,
Bigsby.
and he runs like it. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
he looked better than ETN, truthfully, in the game.
This guy sounds like a walking truck stick.
Yeah. AJ Dillon looks like one. This guy is one.
Yeah.
There you go. Statement.
So Tank just had a really terrible rookie year, but they used a third-round pick on him. They're going to use him in
He's
the
at
offense.
Auburn, isn't he?
Do what?
Auburn?
I do
Bigsby?
not know.
I think so. I think he played in the SEC.
War
like
Eagle.
Yeah. Nope. I started to say Roll Tide. Wrong way.
Roll damn Tide.
And the
Uh,
last
roll
last
it.
person I'm going to mention, even though I feel like he's probably taken, I think he was like 51%, is Mason for San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
That's obvious.
It is, especially if you've got McCaffrey, you've got to own
Hey,
him. But
take a wild guess who had him in both of these leagues
I'm
that
just
we
going to
played.
go and
Moses.
guess that Nixon had him just stashed.
Yep.
Oh, Mason? I'm sorry. I
Both-
thought you said.
Yep, in the Shiva and the BBB league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's smart like that.
Yep.
Ass. By the way, congrats. He became daddy of 2 recently. So, 2.
Woo!
Twice the fun.
Congrats,
Congrats,
Nixon.
Congratulations, Nixon and wife. So,
All right,
I
wide
don't know if she's
receivers.
supposed to be associated with this yet, but okay.
Guilty by
Go
association.
for it.
What? For what?
Wide receivers.
Wide receivers. I'll start off. My first one, I think, is Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
He
had
was
a
solid.
great- he's always solid. Had a pretty good
It's
game.
just been
Jake
around
Ferguson
forever.
is
Been
out.
irrelevant.
He's right. Ferguson's out.
Ferguson's
They don't
out,
have any other
so
options?
Cooks is gonna.
Yeah,
They needed a WR2
CB catch
anyways.
everything.
So
He might try.
I think that for me, Brandon Cooks is honestly behind likely as the
Yeah.
non-quarterback top waiver wire priority.
I think likely. I'm honestly Adonai Mitchell. He qualifies for this, does he not?
Yeah.
That's came to my mind. Like he did not have a big game, but just missed.
He
on a
was
few
just missed
touchdowns.
on a
Was
lot.
open.
Yep.
If Richardson they figure that out, that could be very dynamic.
Yeah.
Someone, I don't know. Did we ever look, because we talked about this before we went live, like what percentage is Keon Coleman roster?
He's too high. He's 68.
68.
Yeah, I
okay.
checked it out. I think I forgot to tell you.
If he's available in your league, pick him
Yeah,
up. He got a lot of
absolutely.
shares. Like, he
Another
got-
one, Brian Thomas Jr. If he is out there, like these are guys that
Yeah, Thomas
Technically-
he was pretty well picked. I think.
I
he
think
was
you're
pretty
right.
high.
Yeah. Another one I wanted to mention was Jalen McMillan, Tampa Bay. He had a touchdown, missed on a huge. Could have been another touchdown. The reports out of training camp was he was looking better than Chris Godwin. Godwin looked good in this game, but as possibly a flex play later in the year, something like that. Someone to keep an eye on. What I'm saying. So,
Williams with Detroit. How often was he rostered?
yeah, good point, Jameson
Yeah.
Williams. I was thinking he was
Jameson
too
Williams.
high, but oh
He
yeah,
was rostered a lot.
I bet it was in the
that-
60s, though. I bet it
I-
wasn't.
that's a guy I meant to mention as far as standouts. Jameson Williams looked like, which you got Amon-Ra, you got Laporta. This is not going to be every week, but he looked great in week 1, and if he has a big
Jameson
game,
Williams 75%.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So,
I will.
probably not available.
Another person I want to mention is DeMarcus Robinson for the
Yeah,
Rams.
Rams.
Okay.
I like
Puka
that.
went down. They
With
need
Puka
another.
out, yeah.
And he looked really good
He
for
did.
them.
He's been around a while, hasn't he? Just
Yeah,
Is
he's
there-
been around for a while.
if I remember at the end of last year, he was kind of relevant. Like, well, Cup was out then, so
Yeah.
And then Greg Dorsch for the Cardinals.
Oh yeah,
For
Oh,
some
Mark-
reason.
Well, if Marvin Harrison can just get some targets, man.
Well, Kyler. My point was Kyler targeted Greg Dorsch the most out of anybody besides Trey McBride.
see, Greg Dortch is short. Kyler's short. They're on that same wavelength. I'm sorry. This is how it works.
And I agree on the AD Mitchell stash. If you guys have watched, I've been high on AD as anybody.
He says he's better than Worthy.
Basically, if you drafted any of the receivers on my team, whoever the second guy is, he got targeted more. So,
Yeah.
Woody, I want to
We're
question.
good team players.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
What do you guys think on Alec Pierce? Because he's been a hot name on there.
Yeah.
I've got my own thoughts on there. I'll give them, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
I like him, but I'm not rushing to pick him up. I'd rather go with Mitchell because that offense. Okay, you got Pittman, you got Mitchell, you have Downs coming back. You have a lot of mouths to feed for a quarterback that's proven to be inconsistent so far.
You still got Jonathan Taylor back there. that can
Yeah,
catch
well,
some
I'm
passes
talking
as well.
Well, fair, but I'm just looking at the receiving competition. He is going to have some games like in a best ball format where he might go bonkers like he just did. But as far as the week-to-week consistency, like I'm gonna probably look for a guy with a bigger target share in their offense. But I will give it to you. He is talented.
no, I
Too many mouths
no.
to feed on an already not that great offense.
Well, they've
that
got upside.
offense is pretty good.
It's good. They've got upside, but look at the way they play. With Taylor's going to get his touches, Richardson's going to run some. The passing volume may not be there.
Yeah.
It could be sporadic week to week. So that's where I'm at with it.
So I don't have to make a point because that was the point I was going to make.
Hey, I got got something right. Woo! Doesn't happen very often.
All right.
just totally
Shake and
went
bake.
right.
Sorry,
All right.
I left you hanging there.
So,
So
man.
we
Was that my
ready for
first
our
question?
Q&A?
Well, no, what
that-
about some streamers like defense or other people you think to pick up without using a waiver wire?
Well, whoever's playing Carolina, I would probably pick them
So
up.
that's
for
the
defense.
Chargers this week. That was
Whoever-
one
There
of
you
my
go.
teams. What about the Colts defense against Green Bay?
Yeah.
I don't
If-
know.
if-
I tend to think that Green Bay can still put up some points.
I don't like it as well as the Chargers.
Might be a little bit because of the attire I'm wearing.
Well, I'm just saying that was a
How
hot
about we
streamer
blanket it?
defense pick.
How about we say it's circumstantial? Like if you have a solid defense with a middling matchup,
Situations are situational.
right? I don't hate it. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But the
Season's
defense,
fucked.
it's hard to answer it because you don't know what you have. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like what's out there. I stream a lot for defense.
Well,
So,
that's kind of where I'm at. If you're streaming,
Yeah.
I think you should look at that.
I agree. I'm going Chargers, but I do agree.
Well, yeah, but if they're already gone,
Yeah, Indy's not bad.
that's
No.
a good choice.
And you, yay or nay?
I hate it here.
I do
These
too.
fucks.
Lord
Seems
Love will be
fun.
back in a few weeks. You'll be all right. Just survive. It's like your fantasy game. Just survive. Next question.
All right, so we'll go to questions here. So
Hell yeah.
the first one we had, which I actually answered for the guy, but I'll let you go. He asked, should I start Murray or Stafford?
Stafford.
they're playing each other.
Stafford.
You say
I'm-
Stafford?
I'm saying Stafford.
That's a tough one. They are playing each other, correct?
Yes.
That's
I
tough
think,
because
I think Kyler's got a higher ceiling.
yeah,
I think
Murray's-
Stafford's got a higher floor.
I agree 100% with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably go Murray because the rushing upside, and I think Kyron Williams is gonna ball against Arizona.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Murray because of that, not because he's a better quarterback, but because
Okay.
of the situation. I'll go Murray.
Yeah. So I told him Murray on there. I just went ahead and made that call.
I'm
So
going
We're not trying to
Stafford
pick on
just
you.
because, like, I don't know how the rest of your team looks. Like, if your team is heavily reliant on a quarterback and you need big points, yeah, you probably should go Kyler. If your team's pretty solid and you just want a guy that's going to guarantee
I
you a
see.
certain amount of points, Stafford's the safer pick. He's probably not, if they both
Yeah.
have good games, going to score as highly as Kyler because he's not going to put up the rushing yards. That being said, Stafford's going to get his. Like, he's not going to leave you a goose egg and miss his targets. Stafford's going to get his.
Yeah.
I think my problem with Stafford is the touchdown upside because the Rams are pretty consistent with when they get down there, the 5-yard line or so. They like to pound it in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm going Kyler by a hair.
Yeah.
So
All right.
next question.
Next question. Drop Spears or Dowdle for Tank Bigsby.
Oh crap. I'm probably not going to do that. If you feel that strongly about Bigsby, sure. But why I say no is because ETN is still the incumbent dominant back there from last year. There's more opportunity, I think, for the other guys. I do not think
I
Zeke's
still
going to stay
think
lead back.
Spears is probably a few weeks away from being that starter. He got about 30 yards in total offense last week.
Yeah.
I think his share is going to continue to grow throughout the season. I don't think that he's going to full out take the lion's share away from Tony
Right.
Pollard. But I think with as explosive as he is, he can work himself into a lot of good fantasy points.
Yeah, I
So
agree with that.
I also agree. I think as we're looking at that, Spears and Dowdle have a lot bigger chance of taking the lion's share of
Yeah.
the offense.
The opportunity.
Travis Etienne is way more talented than
Yeah.
Tony Pollard
Yeah.
or at this point
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Absolutely.
And
One
guys-
bad game does not scare me off of him.
No, it's easy to overreact week one.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting here like, damn, we suck. Season's over. So I get it. But that
Trust
being
the
said,
process.
yeah,
Say it again.
there you go.
You
Well,
drafted
maybe.
Etienne for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's where we're at on that one.
Next question. Should I drop Cowboys defense this week against New Orleans?
Drop the Cowboys defense? No.
Uh,
New Orleans looked great, but they played Carolina. Cowboys look great.
So
The Cowboys
on,
look great.
on that, we
defensively.
had somebody on YouTube who said, quote, think anyone can look like a stud against the Carolina defense. I'm just assuming that's Austin Gibbs.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, the Cowboys defense is damn good.
Yeah, I don't think you should drop
No.
him going against New Orleans.
I think it's a good play.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's a good play.
Absolutely.
You know-
New Orleans offense is not as good as they looked last week.
No.
No,
No.
they're
Derek
not.
Carr is
Don't
not him.
overreact.
No.
No. And Micah Parsons
They-
going against that line, guys. They might make Carr's life living hell.
Now they New Orleans should be better than they were last year. I'll give them that. They can't be a whole hell of a lot
Yeah.
worse.
No.
But the Cowboys' defense is loaded.
yeah, it's a good defense.
So
and
keep Cowboys.
It's a very boom or bust defense. Like, they're going to give up, but they're also going to get a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, 'cause you have
They're gonna get a lot of
Mr.
sacks.
You have
New-
Mr. Boomer Bust.
Yeah,
Trevon
Diggs.
Diggs.
Trevon
Yeah.
Diggs
Like, he
on
may
there.
get 3 picks, but he's going to give up 2 touchdowns.
well,
Um,
I'm big
Now,
time.
I don't.
Ones.
We had another one. In my opinion, I think the Saints have a chance on beating the Cowboys. I don't disagree with
I
that.
don't disagree with it.
At
But
all.
I don't remember what I picked.
I think everyone
Cowboys.
picked. Everyone
Yeah.
picked the Cowboys except for me. I picked the Saints.
I want to see the Saints prove it against a solid team before. I might be wrong. I was really down on them because their O-line going into the year, and I'm not a big Carr guy with the shaky O-line. They looked great last week, but if they look good against the Cowboys, if they win the game, I'll eat crow.
Even if they're close, I would be happy.
I'll eat crow. But I want to see them prove it
I
one more
don't
time.
see them putting up 30 on the Cowboys. I
No,
just don't.
I don't either.
I think that they might put up some points, but I think that the Cowboys are going to get their sacks, and I think they're probably
Yeah.
going to get at least 2 turnovers.
I agree. I tend to
Yeah.
All
agree.
right. Next question is Achan or Monty?
Wait, Achan or
Monty's
Monty?
the safer bet.
Hold on. What the matchups first? Achan, they've got Buffalo. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
And-
my thought is, what's the rest of your team? Can you start both of them?
That's a possibility. They both would be
I
solid
would start
plays.
both. If
Who?
you can.
He probably got them both pretty
Hold on.
late.
They've got Tampa. Monty's got Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a very tough one. I don't know. Achan was going like at least a 4th round pick.
I
Monty
think
was probably on 6th round.
they were both like 4th round picks.
I would really like to play them both because I
Yeah, if possible, play them both.
I kind of like Monty's matchup against Tampa. Is like Tampa have talked their offense up. Their defense looked solid week 1,
At
but
this point,
rushing.
with as much usage as I saw out of Monty and as much success as he had later in the game, he's probably good for a tutty.
Yeah.
At the
If you
very
had
least.
to pick, Achan's banged up too, guys.
Yeah, Achan's
Achan's
banged up
banged
a
up.
little bit.
I'm leaning Monty right now.
Yeah.
Given health and everything, that's
And I
probably
hate
where I'm
that
going to go.
because that's a dual back system, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the more talented back.
Yeah, I agree.
But Monty's proven
Campbell
week
like
in
that
week
side.
in, just like he was last year. He's going to get his.
He's giving you no reason to take him off the field.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been good.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but man, it works pretty goddamn good for him.
It
Yeah.
does.
Now I did like too. I'll mention the way they used Achan out of the backfield catching the ball. That was another element to him. So this is a tough one. Like Alex mentioned, I'd look to play them both somehow. If you have to, I'm going to
If
get
you
the
can throw one
slight
on a
edge.
flex, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, especially if it's not even PPR. Achan would
PPR
be
is
good.
going to be fine with Achan, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you. Here's where I'm at. If it's PPR, I think I'm going to lean Achan. If it's
Yeah.
standard, I'm probably going Monty.
Yep.
That's where I'm
I
at.
like that.
I like that.
I'm good at that answer as well.
All right, next question is Seattle a good play at New England or pick a streamer?
Oh, for defense, I think it's a solid play. Like I thought they looked better than last
That's
year.
not the worst matchup you can have. for
No.
sure. If that's available and you don't like the matchup, the defense you've got, it's probably an
Yeah,
upgrade.
there's others I like better, but that's solid. New England's not explosive offensively.
If you drafted Seattle, just keep them, I think, and don't mess with
I
it.
wouldn't. I agree.
And Seattle's
100%.
a good defense, so I mean,
Yeah,
I like
They look good. Last year they struggled a bit.
Yeah.
But
they
traditionally they're good.
got studs
New
at
England
corner.
Can't score.
right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's a
so,
solid play. I really do.
All right, next question: should I start George Pickens or Rashid Shaheed?
Last
Pickens.
week would tell me that
I'm going Pickens.
Last week would tell me Shaheed, but I think Pickens is your
Yeah.
better long term and probably your safer play.
They've got Denver, correct?
Yes.
So
being
he could Surtain, isn't that their good corner? If he
Surtain,
would be
yeah.
shadowed, that would
Highest
concern
paid
me a
corner in the
little.
league, I think.
Yep, I think he just got paid. I think he
Surtain
just
just
literally
got
last
paid.
Yeah.
like this
Okay.
last week.
Yeah.
That could be concerning, but I usually go with the more talented guy. I think even matchup, no matter the matchup, I think I'm gonna go Pickens. Shaheed is really boomer bust.
Shaheed is boomer bust.
Yeah, and
I
Dallas'
think that
secondary is
also
no joke.
is another one like on our first question that I think kind of depends on how much are you depending on that player. Like,
Yeah.
do you want a high ceiling guy or a high floor guy? I think George Pickens is your high floor guy. I think that Shaheed is your high ceiling guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaheed's one guy that frustrates me because he is talented, but I feel like he's been so boomer bust this last
He's
of his
very
career.
similar to like Olave. Like,
Well, I
Olave's
hope
better.
Olave's better and more consistent. I was thinking Gabe Davis.
but he
No,
has,
he's Gabe
hasn't been,
Davis
like,
or
he's
Alec
been very
Pierce.
boomer bust as well.
Yeah,
He's Gabe Davis or Alec Pierce.
that's where I was thinking.
Gosh.
Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Pickens.
All right, next one. Next question I got. Trade Ayuk for Marv. I've got Tyreek, Cup, and Rasheed.
If you can trade Ayuk for Marv, do it.
I would do it.
I
I think
would do
Harrison's
that right
getting
now.
by low.
Yeah.
Especially
yeah.
with the rest. How did you manage that in your draft? Jesus.
Say that again. Who
He
is
says he's got Tyreek, Cup, and Rasheed.
I mean, hey.
I assume Rasheed
it's-
Rice.
or Shaheed.
I mean, think about it. Like, I have
That's a hell of a receiving core.
Marv, Devontae, Nico, and
Well, yeah, but you also drafted. Maybe he did the same.
Well,
as you.
exactly.
All
It sounds like
receivers.
he went wide receiver heavy, and it's
Yeah,
easy
but
to
you
do in
went
this
with
draft.
Devontae.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have let you had any of those boys.
No. Well done on the draft.
I was
first and
low
foremost.
on Devontae.
I can
so.
see Cup falling, but
But he says he's got Ayuk on my bench, so yeah,
Yeah,
I would.
if
Yeah.
he's on your bench, I think Harrison has bigger season-long upside.
Marv was a second rounder in most leagues.
he was a lot of first rounder. I would do
I
that
think he's
trade
a
in a
good buy
heartbeat.
low. So
Yeah.
I'd do it. Yeah, slam dunk.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that's easy.
next one, should you? Is it Jay? Will I move Jay Daniels over Kyler? I'm
Jaden
assuming you mean
Daniels
Jaden
over
Daniels
Kyler.
starting over Kyler.
Wait, for this week,
Yeah.
who do they have again? The Commanders.
They're playing the
Is it
Giants.
the Giants?
They're playing the
I'm
Giants.
I might do that
Yeah, that's a tough
because
one.
you saw how
and they're
electric
at
he
home.
was. Yeah, you saw how electric Daniels was. That's a tough one, but for this week, based off the matchup, I would love to see Daniels' development as a passer throughout the season.
I have 2 points.
Okay.
One, I'm going Jaden Daniels. 2, I feel really sorry for you that that's your 2 quarterback options. Like,
I don't know
Ky-
about that.
Ky-
If
Kyler-
this is a 2 quarterback league, then I understand it. But man,
Alan, what'd you draft Kyler at?
Like the 5th or 6th round.
That's
Daniels didn't go. What did he go? 7th, 8th?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
if he
that's-
got Daniels even later,
I
I don't.
forgot that people like Kyler.
I don't hate the pick.
I
Well,
don't
Kyler
like-
for fantasy, like as much as he runs, he wasn't a bad pick.
That's
I don't
fair.
think. So we'll see how that works. But I'd probably go because of the matchup, and you saw the rushing upside week 1 against Tampa.
Yeah.
Probably go Daniels. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's close. That's a tough one,
Okay.
guys.
All right, next question is A-Rod versus the Titans or Geno versus the Patriots?
Oh shit. I'm going Aaron probably. Aaron. I mean, you're
I
wearing
think
the
so.
jersey.
Yes. As a fellow Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I would like to bet on myself.
I would like to-
So,
It's worked pretty good. History.
4-time MVP.
No big deal. Won a Super
He's
Bowl.
got
Yeah.
the lower ceiling, I think. I've said this a couple times. I think he's got the lower ceiling, higher floor.
I also think that the
don't
Patriots
think- I don't
defense
know.
is pretty good.
Both defenses look pretty good week 1. Like Tennessee.
But
looked
I
pretty good.
trust the Patriots
Patriots
defense a
defense?
lot more. They
Yeah.
showed it last year to be pretty good too.
Well, and I think I like Rodgers over Smith. So.
Yeah, that too. So it's
You know,
it's definitely
They're
Rodgers
both
in
going
this.
to have close matchups, too.
Both-
So I think they're both
Let me
going to
put it
have
this way.
every reason to keep throwing.
I think both aren't great plays, given who they're going against. But I'm going to give it to Rodgers. That's
Yeah.
my edge.
I agree.
Next.
Next.
Keep it rolling.
One just asked, is Caleb Williams going to show up this week?
I can't
I-
answer that. Ask that bastard if he's going to play.
I would like to say no.
They've got the
because,
Texans, so I wouldn't bank on it.
Go Packers and fuck the Bears.
No, in all seriousness, like
Who-
if you're asking to play him, I want to see him prove more before I play him.
Yeah,
You
I
got
wouldn't
another
play him
quarterback
yet.
option. I'm not saying cut him. No. But get you another quarterback option. Probably play that over him this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in a hurry to rush him out there after
Yeah.
seeing that week 1 performance.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I missed one on which you're over that one.
Back her up.
We had a guy ask if CMC doesn't play, should I start Jordan Mason over Zay Flowers, Pittman, or Jalen Waddle? Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
If CMC does
Wait,
not
hold
play,
on a second.
start Jordan
What?
Mason
Those
every
three
time.
are- Like, you're thinking about benching any of those guys?
Yeah.
Waddle, Flowers. Who's the other one?
Pittman.
So basically, he's giving you.
Who is he playing
I don't know.
in the roster? Oh my gosh.
No, those are all rostered. He's trying to sit like
No, I
3
know
of those
that.
will start. One's benched.
So what? Out
Out of all those
play
person-
one. You're
Yeah.
saying play 3, bench 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question.
Any which ways, start Jordan Mason.
Yes, I think so. Probably I would. Man, I might bench.
I'd be
Pittman.
Waddle actually.
Waddle. No, they got Buffalo. They're gonna have to throw. Why I was saying Pittman is because they're playing Green Bay, and if they get a lead,
Okay.
I'm not trying to pick on you guys. And
Man.
Pittman didn't do much week one. That's a tough one. I'm definitely playing Mason.
Play
Definitely
Mason for sure.
Your question. And we got Flowers.
I'm definitely playing Flowers.
I'm playing Flowers. Yeah,
okay.
they got.
So
Vegas.
I think if you're gonna pick between two, you should be picking between
Pittman and
Waddle
Waddle.
and Pittman.
Yep, I agree. I'm
Yeah.
probably playing Waddle. And Pittman.
And I'm probably playing Pittman.
Yeah,
right.
that's tough. You agree? That's kind
Yeah.
of a,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, next question. Traded Kelsey and got Kincaid's and Dobbins. Did I win?
In the long term, I think yes.
I don't want to bank on Dobbins' health.
Well, but I think Kincaid will be just as good as Kelsey.
Maybe. I was not surprised by Kelsey's week one, and I was very disappointed in Kincaid's.
Kelsey
It's
is
a terrible trade because I don't think Kelsey. I'm not real high on him this year.
Kelsey is not going to show up until the last few weeks of the season.
Depends on how bad you need a running back.
Yeah.
Like in my situation, I would absolutely make that trade. In his
That's
situation
fair.
where he has two pretty good
Bunch of
running backs,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm keeping Kelsey. So
it
that's
dep-
tough.
I'd take a small downgrade at tight end because he is a small downgrade off of Kelsey.
Yeah, he's not
to
far
gain
off.
a running back that had a good week one.
Yeah.
That's probably going to get hurt.
He's
out.
worth a dart throw though.
We
Yeah.
don't have enough information, so it's a possible. I'm going to tell you situations are situational.
Yes.
Yeah. So did he already make this trade? Or is
Yeah,
that what he should do?
yeah.
He already made it. I don't hate it. I like.
Well, it sounds like he needed a running back.
Yeah. Yep. If
Honestly.
he needed it. That's fine. That's fine.
All right, next one is it says I traded B-Rob for MHJR and Standard. Thoughts? Who?
I know Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson for
B-Job.
Oh, you said B. John?
If this says B-Rob for Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm assuming it's B-Job.
probably.
It wouldn't-
What else got in there?
Just those two.
There is a
Um,
Brian Robinson though.
Yeah, but that's
That doesn't make sense.
no.
Terrible trade.
That would be an awful trade. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it would be.
I still think it's a bad trade for the guy that traded Bijan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
would
think-
rather have B. John.
Yeah.
I would rather have B. John.
I would rather have B-John. I've got B-John in two of my
Like
leagues.
if Bijan
I mean-
would have been available when I had the chance, when I
Yeah.
picked Marvin Haverson, I would probably pick a running back.
He
early, guys.
wasn't
You
because I picked in front of you.
That says a lot right
Yeah.
there. The anti-running
He
back.
wasn't because I was there in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like B. John. I really do.
Yeah. All right. Next one? Should I pick up DeMarcus Robinson or Park? I'm assuming you're meaning
DeMarcus Robinson or
It says Park at Kobe Parkinson, right?
Oh, yeah.
Colby Parkinson,
The
yeah.
tight end. I mean, if you need a tight end, then
It depends on what you
It's
need.
Parkinson.
Yeah, if you're just wanting
Are
the
you picking
better-
up like in a flex spot, or
I
just
I hope those aren't your
bench
flex
stash?
option. I'm looking at Robinson's probably a bench stash right now, and Parkinson might be a tight end if you lost Ferguson or
Yeah, it just depends on what you need. If you need,
Njoku. I probably like his value better because he's a tight
Need
end.
more
Yeah.
information, but I think that if you're looking for someone to play right now,
it's
you take
Parkinson.
Colby.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
All right. Traded Pittman for Godwin. Thoughts?
love it.
I don't like it.
I love it.
No, you traded away Pittman for Chris Godwin? I don't like it. I'd rather have Michael Pittman. He had a bad week
The
one.
Bake Show is gonna do it. He can
I
give.
do like that.
He
but,
give
dude,
everyone the ball, man.
I'm a
He's
bit
slinging it.
I feel like that was a classic buy low, sell high.
Yeah,
Pittman had a bad week one, but he's Michael freaking Pittman.
yeah.
Chris Godwin, he had a good week one. Guys, they played Washington too.
Yeah.
That is one of the worst secondaries in the league, and they look great. I do like Baker, but I think Pittman's a more talented player. I don't think Godwin's been the same guy since he tore his ACL.
Okay.
So I could be wrong on this. I'm going Pittman.
I really do like Pittman, but
You
right
like
now
him?
I like anyone that's Baker Mayfield's throwing the ball to.
that's-
I mean,
man,
I-
he looked good week one, but once again, let's sample size.
Okay, I have Godwin in my ESPN league, and if you gave me the choice of trading him for Pittman, I'm doing that every time.
Yeah, you would rather have Pittman.
I would rather have
Yeah,
Pittman.
okay. So I'm
it's the only one that I'm going to disagree with you guys on.
And I started Godwin and was very happy with
Yeah.
that. But if
Yeah.
I got that
It was a
offer,
hell of a matchup.
if I got that offer, I'm taking Pittman, and I'm not
Yep.
even. I don't even think 2 seconds about
Pittman
it.
was very good last year.
Pittman's
Until he got
been
hurt.
good since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
So
All right.
next one:
We rolling.
start Rodgers, Fields, or Burrow. If none, who should I pick up on waiver wire? Rodgers.
Wait, we got 3 quarterbacks?
I don't. Yeah.
Rodgers, Fields, or Burrow?
Yeah.
I'm going Burrow. I know he didn't look bad week 1, but the upside of these guys, Burrow's got the most. They're playing KC. They're probably going to have to score.
If you can pick up Baker, pick up Baker.
Yeah, I would probably drop Fields for Baker because he might
I'd
not
pay
start.
Baker over any of those 3.
I agree for this week. I agree. Yes,
For
I
this
do.
week, I'd go Baker.
If he's out
if
there,
you,
yes.
If you, I wouldn't drop Burrow.
Oh, hell
no.
I
Don't
would not
drop
drop
Burrow.
Burrow. So
I would drop Fields.
drop Fields, pick up Baker if you can. If not, play Burrow.
Because honestly, I think Pittsburgh is going to give Russ the job when he's healthy. Unless Fields balls out. I don't see it.
I mean, they'd pretty much already said that he had the job until he
Russ,
got hurt,
yeah.
So.
Right.
Okay, next one. Just got sent. Bijan, Ayuk, Jamar for Tyreek, Kyron Williams, Pittman.
I'm going to have to write these names down. So,
Bijan,
Ayuk,
and Jamar.
Jamar. Tyreek, Kyron, Pittman.
Which one's his side?
He's got Tyreek, Kyron, and Pittman.
I do
He's
that
got-
trade. I do that trade.
Tyreek, Kyron Pittman, trade him for Jamar Chase. Yeah.
I would do
I
that
would do
trade.
that trade. I'm sorry, Dad.
Yeah, I do that trade.
I would do it for sure. No disrespect to Tyreek, but getting Bijan and Chase.
I think
This is
that
a buy low.
Bijan is the best piece of that trade, and I don't think Jamar Chase is really any worse than Tyreek. And yeah,
I think IU could be comparable to Pittman. Okay.
yes.
I would much rather have Bijan over Kyron.
You win on
Jamar
2 out of
Chase
3
and
player
Tyreek.
exchanges.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, I'm doing that for sure. Good job. That's getting very creative. I
Yeah,
was like, oh.
yeah, I'd do that trade for sure.
Overall, for the most part, that's a fairly lateral move, though, and I don't really understand that trade.
Well, but if you're winning
I
at
don't
2 or 3
understand that being
positions-
offered. Is
Yeah,
what I should say.
yeah, it's
Like,
it's
what's that
interesting.
guy looking to gain?
Maybe he's high on Tyreek. Maybe he thinks and low on Chase after week 1.
I don't know.
I
May-
mean, it's a fantasy.
Maybe
guys.
he's a Dolphins fan.
Maybe he just likes the trade.
So-
crazy shit happens.
Next one I got, should give up Najee or Swift to get Rashad White? No.
No,
I don't really like any of the players in this trade.
Rashad White's just not good at football. Like
He's got a good backup,
he
too,
can-
now.
He can catch footballs, but
Yeah.
he may be one of the least talented running backs that has a starting job.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. And he's got a talented backup now in Bucky.
Yeah.
He might timeshare. in
Right
this.
now,
Yeah.
start Najee until otherwise noticed, or
Yeah.
Until
'cause-
he ultimately does Najee things and
Yeah.
doesn't score any points.
Even when he does, they're giving him the ball. If he's
Yeah.
healthy, can walk to the stadium, he's getting the ball.
22 carries for 60 yards.
Yep. Good job. Ground and pound. There we go. Time of possession.
Occasionally a touchdown.
yeah.
Occasionally. What else you got there, big guy?
I'm
Are we
looking.
caught up? Are we good?
I mean, that was a pretty good show.
One of them
So-
says keep skipping me, but I don't see what he asked
If
at
that's
first.
caught up, I mean, it is almost 9:30 and I
It
need
is,
to get to bed.
I need to, yeah. Kids got school day tomorrow. So,
All right.
thank you guys for your input. We
We
love
appreciate
it.
all the questions. This has been fun.
Appreciate
so,
it.
We'd
Yeah.
like to be able to do this every week at the end of
Yeah.
the night and kind of get the juices flowing with getting kind of a Q&A going.
Absolutely.
Really exciting.
Thank
So,
you guys for your support, all platforms.
All platforms. Remember to follow us on TikTok, follow us on YouTube, or subscribe to us on YouTube. We're also on X and Instagram and Facebook.
Yep, we'll be back next week, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. See ya.